thank you. Oh, that felt nice. Oh, thank you. Wow, that felt quite nice. The podcast never started with a touching moment. Let's do that again. Oh my gosh, I feel like the news is coming straight through me. I just felt like I got Starlink, except it's Rebecca Davis Link. That's our guest, but we'll introduce her in a moment. Calm down. Listen, she's from Daily Maverick, so she needs all the help she can get.
My favorite type of maverick.
Shut up, Simi. We're not doing jokes about a strip club with the only female guest we've had so far, you frickin' sexist Sorry about that. Okay. Hi. Welcome back to A Real Problem with Chester Missing. This is our podcast with the puppets. You can watch Latex on the internet talking to a journalist. It's puppet on puppet violence. Guys, I don't know what's going on. When Donald Trump said, turn on the lights with Ramaphosa, I thought he was going to cuck himself. But he didn't, because the one thing that makes South Africans feel right at home, it's the lights being turned off. Thank you. Thank you. It wasn't load shedding, it was fact shedding. Donald Trump showed pictures, right? He showed those pictures of dead people from Congo when meeting President of South Africa, which for Americans, that's like us showing Donald Trump a picture of a school shooting in Venezuela and going, oh, well, can you explain yourself? So, we're going to talk about that and where it's going. I know we're almost exhausted this topic, but I think it was wildly racist. I think Ramaphosa handled it very well because Donald Trump had not factored in Ramaphosa's superpower, which is the ability to sit there and do absolutely nothing. And he just sat there like he's been sitting for years as president, just staring, and that's all he needed to do. And the wildest part is to get Donald Trump to listen to us, we had to get two white golfers and Johan Rupert and John Steenhuisen to say, no, Zach, white people are doing fine. Of course, white people are doing fine. Have you seen the Springbok rugby team? It's 10 Afrikaans refugees and 5 black guys. You can't win the Springbok World Cup. You can't win the World Cup and have a white genocide. You got to choose one, guys. We can't all be dying and be winning rugby contests. So this entire race situation is crazy, and to explain it, I've got the amazing journalist Rebecca Davis. Hi, Rebecca, how's it?
Hi, Chester, how are you?
I'm very well.
I've never been this close to your face. It's a little bit unsettling.
It's weird, isn't it? It's all shiny. It's shiny and it's squishy. Feel it. You can squish it.
It is squishy.
Squeeze it. Squeeze it.
So I relate
Oh,
to you
yes.
on
Oh,
that
yeah.
level.
Oh, that was fun. Thank you. You have a last forehead, too. How are you? How are you surviving the genocide?
Yeah, I'm, shouldering it bravely.
Well done.
Yeah.
Well done.
I'm doing my best. No, look, it was, as you say, that's so funny about Ramaphosa, because he's a human screensaver, isn't he? And that's exactly what we needed. He was just sitting there buffering.
Sorry, just give me a moment. The guest is funnier than you are, Conrad Clark. Thank you. That was great. Can you write for us, please? That's true. He was like a human screensaver.
Just sitting there buffering while all this cuck was laid out to him. I don't know about you, but I felt strongly that I wanted him to go mental on Trump. I know it would have been disastrous. Obviously, it would have been disastrous. We need the US, all this stuff.
Yeah.
But there was a real visceral part of me that just wanted him to completely unload on
Just
that
lose
idiot.
it. Like some push set, nine machine, what, smack him, say some Tonda Wesizwe, all those things, yeah. In his face,
Bring me
just proper
my
go
fucking
in
machine gun.
Exactly, yes, exactly. Bring me my machine, and then the whole world will have to discuss what the hell, and then we'll send them pictures of Gaza and tell them to shut up.
Exactly right. The other irony was that all the cuck about white genocide, and yet in that meeting, arguably the dramatic highlight was that moment of white-on-white violence when Johan Rupert turned on John.
Oh, that was great. White-on-white violence. John Steenhuisen dealt.
He was the victim there.
No, he was really kicked out. That was proper.
He was white genocided.
He was genocided by Johan Rupert. Shame, man.
About the crime stats in the Western Cape.
I know, and deservedly, because it's a fact that DA just evades like a frickin' Springbok. I don't have a metaphor that works.
He does evade it, but it just struck me that Johan Rupert must have been carrying that for a real long time, right? Because surely he can pick up the phone to John Steenhuisen any time. He's the gazillionaire, Doors open for him, but he waits until literally the full glare
the whole
of
world is watching
media
to slam John Steenhuisen in the face. Just die, you stupid Helen Zilla Popeye moron, matriculant idiot asshole. Listen.
That's right.
Yeah, that's a fact.
Quite something.
People get upset when I do those jokes about John Steenhuisen's matric, but we mock the hell out of Julius's matric results, so calm the fuck down.
Non-stop, 30%
Endless
for Woodwork,
woodwork
100%
results.
for Zuma.
Exactly,
Remember those
exactly.
t-shirts?
That endless crap. Because you know you're racist when you're judging a black guy by how good he is at manual labor. Ooh. I know, that's a good joke, isn't it? Thanks, Rebecca. Not as clever and funny as yours, but you know, we're catching up soon. Okay, now you are someone who's really researched this. Thanks for coming today. I really appreciate it.
You're welcome.
Listen, is it normal for the president of an African country to have to bring 4 white people to convince the world he's not talking cuck?
I mean, that's the ultimate insult, isn't it? It really is. When you think about it, it is so outrageous. And that you don't even bring, you know, I don't know, qualified white people.
I know.
People with like PhDs in economics.
Matriculants and 2 golfers.
Fucking golfers.
Only Johan Rupert had a degree in that room,
Only
as far as I
Johan
know.
Rupert was the only white with any formal education in that room.
Great.
Look, and those golfers, boy, was that
My
high
God,
risk.
thanks for helping us during apartheid.
Yeah, thanks for helping us during apartheid.
Thanks, whatever it is.
I mean, I thought the whole thing was tremendously nation building, wasn't it? We were all there watching, tweeting like it was a Springboks final, you know?
But it was exactly like that, but with more murders. Oh no, we all get murdered. Don't worry, we're the Rainbow Nation of murders.
That's exactly what I was saying the other day.
Madiba would have been proud of us. We're the one nation that comes together in genocide.
That's exactly right. It is. It's not great that our official legal national defense is, don't worry, everyone gets murdered. No. It's not just the farmers. It's all of us. We're all getting murdered every single day. Objectively, that's not great, is it?
No, it's not good at all. But
No.
what I'm concerned about is the racism driving all of this. You know, that we had to take, you know, that now Ramaphosa arrives knowing with 4 white people, it's like a whole African country. You had to say, we're not racist. Some of our best friends are white. Here they are. Listen, if
And
you...
one woman, hey?
And one woman. And one black
Ntshavheni,
woman's
who
most
said-
of South Africa
she
as well.
said foko as well.
Yes.
So,
Wow.
Zingwitsi Lotsi was there too. That's
Yes.
true. There were 2 women.
Yes.
But I mean, it was stunning in its maleness and whiteness, yeah. And as everyone noticed, I'm doing it to you now, how Trump talked over everyone except the white men. That's why I'm talking over you.
You must talk
It's
over
a
me.
symbolic
I
revenge.
want you to talk. You're my guest.
Thanks.
I'm so used to talking over people. There's a guy called Simi over there
Mm.
because we can't afford a real producer, so we had to get a part-time homeless guy.
Yeah. Anyway, Rebecca, I've got a question from the Peanut Gallery. Who would you have chosen? Who's your top 3 white people to have taken to that meeting? I mean, I know I probably would have added Eben Etzebeth in there for Gees and vibes.
for Gees.
Yeah, but I mean, like, you have to have Johan Rupert as your captain, right? Because billionaire versus billionaire. But who would you take?
What about that guy from Mikasa? Everyone loves him.
Oh, Jay something? He would have
Jay
rocked
something.
it. Nothing would
come on.
have. Nothing would have eased the tensions.
Yeah,
as
and he
him-
could have brought out a little...
these streets.
Yeah. I think, and he was actually under consideration at some point, this is a serious suggestion, Andries Nel, the ANC deputy minister, who Tony Leon very rudely says in his latest book, Andries Nel has been carrying water for the ANC for decades. Which is very true, unfortunately.
Oh my God, Tony
He's
Leon.
not wrong.
Have you
I mean,
please
it's nice
fight
for a
black?
white person to carry some water for once for black people. I'm a big fan of Andries' work. He might have done something. Otherwise, like maybe Patricia Lewis, man. You know,
that'd be funny.
Trump loves a blonde. Yeah, man. I think she could have.
Patricia De Lewis, I was about to call it. That's Patricia De
Not
Lewis.
Patricia
No,
De
there's the whole other Patricia. But no, that would have been hilarious. I think that's a great suggestion. Listen,
Thanks.
how do you think Ramaphosa did in the face of Donald Trump's stupidity? Because he works with Fikile Mbulula, so he's used to stupidity. But how do you think he coped? Was that okay? Did he do good enough?
I mean, honestly, I would have liked to see some much more decisive, instantaneous fact-checking from that whole bloody team. I would have liked to see John Steenhuisen say just these words, there is no white genocide. Since Trump will clearly only believe it from a white person, let John do that. I would have liked Cyril, obviously, as we've all said, to be better briefed about the bloody farm crosses and everything, so he wasn't just caught there saying, oh, I don't know where that is. It was unconvincing. It just made it seem like he was either not on top of his subject or lying.
Yeah.
Having said that, would any outcome have been... I mean, apparently the lunch that followed it was perfectly amiable. Everyone was laughing and joking and loving each other. So in terms of it being sort of the foreplay to the actual lunch where the trade deals were going to get done, fine. I think, it didn't explode. He didn't get Zelensky'd. He did not get Zelensky'd. He did not get internationally humiliated. And really, that was the worst case scenario. I don't think that happened.
Rick, isn't that a weird vibe? Like
So
that
weird.
It's so weird that you're genociding people, and I'll see you in September for the G20. Like, murderer, let's have lunch. Isn't that a weird,
It's incredibly
completely
weird.
hypocritical position?
Look, this is the thing, that there's somehow become this narrative, particularly among right-wing South African white people who now are fucking running to Trump to snitch every 5 minutes like he's the manager, right? Have you noticed
Yes,
this?
they're definitely doing
Everyone
it.
just
That's a good way
tagging
of
in
describing
Trump,
it.
tagging in Marco
Yes.
Rubio whenever anything happens,
Yes.
load shedding, please come and fix it. I mean, what the hell do you think this is? We're a sovereign country. But what really grates my tits is this narrative now that we have somehow done something to deserve to be punished by the US, right?
But
There's
they
all
say
this-
to Russia, they keep saying, we had the ship arrive here, we went to the stuff Israel. Isn't that, is that completely wrong?
It's just idiotic. You keep hearing this thing, oh, well, what do you expect when you get so cozy with Russia and China and
Yeah.
Iran? You know who else is cozy with Russia? Donald freaking Trump.
I know, he's literally batting for it.
He's
Putin's
accusing
wingman.
Ukraine of
He's-
invading itself.
Exactly, he's
There's no one
literally
doing more
Donald
for
Trump is
Russia.
Putin's Chester missing. It's fucking ridiculous.
Exactly right. So now we're being told we got too cozy with Russia. Meanwhile, Donald Trump is their
He's
actual
literally
bestie.
getting fisted there by fucking, like I am right now. Look, there, like that, there. That's
Exactly right.
now. It's like I'm Donald Trump, and this here is Vladimir Putin and Elon Musk. They've got timeshare in his ass. Listen.
Exactly right. So that's one thing, right? We can no longer use Russia. I'm sorry, take Russia out of this nonsensical argument. Fine, we go to China. You know who's China's actual biggest choms? The whole Middle East, where
Yeah.
Trump was last week
Hanging out in
accepting
Saudi Arabia.
jets, just like giving blowjobs to all
Qatar.
the
Yep.
assembled Emirati rulers without a mention of any diplomatic rebuke for being so tight with China, but now we must cop it for that. And as for Iran, India fucking loves Iran. It's one of its top trading. They have such tight relationships.
Exactly.
Iran and India, like this. When Modi goes to Washington, red carpet. They love India. So
Yeah.
why does every other country get double standards except for South Africa? It's bullying. It's because we're not economically strong in the way of these other
Amanda.
countries, and we don't have anything to give them. I mean, wasn't that actually the best moment of the whole Oval Office scene when Ramaphosa said, "I'm sorry, I don't have a jet to
It
give
was
you"?
great.
It was
That
great.
was
great.
a good line.
I just
I
thought maybe
loved it.
we could have given them a FlySaf air voucher, maybe.
Yeah,
just-
they would have been. Give them an SAA airplane. He'll die in 3 weeks.
I did also think his present to Trump was shit, eh? A 14-kilogram book about golf courses. Who wants that?
I thought that was white as hell. If the one thing you're going to give a colonizer is photos of land. Oh, thank you. Thank you.
True.
So I get paid the big bucks.
Land porn.
I'm still stuck on the blowjobs to Saudis.
Yeah.
Listen.
But I mean, that's the thing. There's all this hypocrisy. One of the reasons why the US has suddenly decided to go nuclear on us, so to speak,
Yeah.
is because we're using the G20 to spotlight climate change. Like, guilty,
I had no idea
Your
about
Honor.
that.
Like, who the hell thinks we're going to look back and regret doing that?
I only just found out about. Are we actually doing that?
Well, of course, we're using the G20 to spotlight a whole range of fucking issues.
I had
of
no
which
idea.
climate
I don't
change is
read,
one.
Rebecca. You are my source of all information.
I'm telling you, we're doing that. And Marco Rubio, the Secretary of State, listed that as one of the reasons why US isn't going to come to the G20 because we're using
What a
it for
frickin' idiot.
wokeness and climate
Oh my
change.
God, we don't want to all die. Thank you. Sorry, Marco. We hate dying.
we
It's-
just
for people
want-
who are against genocide, it's a weird angle. No, you must die from climate change. Not.
Exactly right. And now we're being told we must take that seriously. We are arguing with maniacs here.
They are crazy.
In 3 years' time, everyone who's been defending this shit is going to be backpedaling so fast.
Yeah.
And yet we're supposed to just sit and take it and say, oh, I'm so sorry. And you know what it is? It's because of the underlying racist assumption that white men are always rational, right? That white
Yes.
men are always rational and always correct. So Elon Musk and the Starlink shit too, right?
That cuck, yeah.
Everyone's like, Oh, Elon wants to come put Starlink in South Africa so that the rural areas can get
Yes,
connectivity.
shame. He's helping us.
Exactly. Do you think
Like
Elon
Vodacom
Musk
doesn't
gives
exist.
two shits about this country? He hasn't been here since 2019. He's never done anything for charity in this country. Yet somehow we're supposed to believe that this is just a good faith position.
He doesn't even know the English part of the national anthem.
He doesn't exactly right. He
I don't know it
literally does
either.
not.
ATV.
It is the weakest part of it.
Listen, okay, let's listen. You are amazing, Rebecca. You've done so much great research on this. Let's start with Afriforum. We have some stupid people watching. Simi's right there. What is Afriforum? Because they sound like a WhatsApp group for Nazis. In like 2 sentences, what's Afriforum?
Genuinely, it's a good question because it's not just Afriforum, right? It's an empire devoted to Afrikaans language rights, but also to kind of the victimization of white South Africans. And it's
Okay.
Afriforum, it's solidarity. But there's more than that. It's a really intricate business network, right?
Right.
And they all feed into each other. So Afriforum really harps on this narrative of farm murders, which we know do happen. Yes, rural
No one's
violence
denying
is a thing.
farm murders, you
They
stupid
happen.
frickin' idiot.
Correct.
We're denying that it's just white people. Oh my God.
Correct.
Keep going.
So they like to hype up the farm murder panic, and then the other arm of the business just sells insurance, right? Tell me
No,
how
wait.
those
Sorry,
two,
wait. Sorry.
They sell insurance.
What insurance?
Part of their business is around I think it's home insurance. They also do all this stuff to do with community safety, etc. So it's literally like a self-perpetuating, mutually reinforcing, paranoid echo chamber.
God,
Right?
didn't that one guy leave his 5-bedroom house? I hope. So now explain to us, you know, Afriforum went to the States and they walked around saying how cuck it is for white people.
They did. They took a lot of selfies. Who can blame them? Outside the White House, but far outside the White House, eh? And in front of various doors. And every night they were there, these Oaks did crossings to South African TV,
Yes.
where they said, oh, the message we have brought to Washington is blah, blah, blah. And I was like, okay, but who the fuck are you talking to in Washington? So I did a little bit of research. I got hold of, the secretary for various committees, various senators, because they were acting like they had the ear of, the Secretary of State. At the very least, they kept saying we met with high-ranking Democrats
Yes.
and Republicans, senators,
Yeah.
not staffers, senators. They met with, as far as I could tell, nobody. They may have met with a few junior staffers. They may have met with some people who work for think tanks. They met with, I could detect 0 elected representatives of the American people. And I'm very confident that this is correct because I wrote an article about it and I did a video about it, and at no point did they come back and say, actually, here are the receipts of who we met
Oh my
with.
God.
So why did they lie?
No, yeah,
Because
no,
they
Simi,
were-
are you stupid? I'm sorry that he's.
No, it's
No,
not.
it's a
Tell
good
you what,
question.
I'll tell you why they lied. They lied because they're a membership organization. And they ran a huge membership drive around this trip to the US where they'd say, stuur jou boodskap aan die Withuis. Send your message to the world. We're there in America, in the heart of power, in the corridors of, the empire. And we're fighting for you, white South Africans. It's a
So
great
if anyone
marketing
is
tool.
making money out of farm murders, it's Afriforum and their insurance
100%.
company.
Yeah, 100%, of course that's
You
right.
sleazy scumbag, low bastard, Cully Creel needs an extra K in his name. Nyers, that's insane.
And you know what else they're doing? They're building these private Afrikaans universities. Again, that's their right. And it's your right as a parent to send your kid to a private Afrikaans university. But the other day, Freedom Front Plus, which is, you might think the Freedom Front Plus is pretty far right, but actually they're not that far right. They've traditionally been quite centrist right in terms of who they are in the South African Parliament. They put out a statement the other day encouraging Afrikaans parents to send their kids to Academy, which is the private Afrikaans university. It made me so sad because it's not like there aren't good state Afrikaans universities in this
they are.
country.
They
There are.
are.
There's UFS,
Pretoria,
there's Stellenbosch,
Tuks,
there's
yeah.
Pretoria. But they're saying basically that the only place you can be sure that your white child will get in and do well and thrive is in this completely monocultural, racially homogenous, private university with not any sense of connection to the wider South African community.
You can go to
Sucks, man.
Stellenbosch and literally pee on a black kid's bag and get away with it.
Correct, not guilty.
How crazy is this country? It's
Captured in
insane.
4K doing
Say
it
there,
and
oh, no,
still.
I'm just peeing on a black kid. No, it's not racist, not
No.
racist. I just didn't know
No.
it was a urinal, I thought. What a... Okay,
Right.
listen, and Donald Trump, where's he getting his... that information we saw, it looks like he get it from racists on Twitter. Doesn't he have the whole CIA to fact check for him?
So, you know where he got those printouts that he ambushed Ramaphosa with? He has this aide called Natalie Horn. They call her the human printer. Literally, because she carries around a portable printer and a battery pack so that she can print things out for Trump on the fly because he's a lame old boomer who doesn't know how to read off a screen. So she carries around these printouts and gives it. I went down a wormhole about this woman. She's so obsessed with Trump that the CIA was actually worried about her. She sent him messages saying things like, you're the only one who understands me. She's young. She's like a 30-year-old pretty blonde woman. Anyway, she's the one following him around like a stalker with this printer and feeding him this bullshit from these fringe...
So she literally prints out racism instead of, like, he's like slow WhatsApp.
Yeah.
That is the weirdest cuck ever. Simba, you need to get a printer and then follow me around printing shit, please.
We'll do.
And get a blonde wig.
We'll do.
So she's getting the stuff off these fringe right-wing websites, these weird blogs nobody reads, and feeding them straight to him. And he clearly just believes everything he's told. And then he has bloody Elon...
He's like a sort of racism pervert, isn't he? He's like hiding around the corner. I'm here. Black people suck. Starlink.
And the actual disinformation tsar of the world, if you see the cocky retweets on Twitter, stuff that if you had like the slightest
Total
media
bullshit.
literacy or critical reasoning, you would not believe. And yet, again, people think that this guy's a genius and that he's...
Where was he, though?
He was in the Oval Office.
He was
right?
there.
Annika
Did you not?
Larsen
I'm
bumped
sorry.
into him
Did
and
you
he was
not?
cross.
He didn't watch the show. I'm sorry.
But the
I watched
angle
it.
didn't show him. I agree. The angle didn't show him. But there was one point where Trump gestured at him and said, like my friend Elon tells me,
That would be his moment
X.
to shine.
You would have thought so.
Like he didn't say anything.
But he was asked the previous day, he was at the Qatar Economic Forum, and they asked him about Starlink and BEE, and the man was so sulky. I don't know if you saw the clip. He
I
was
saw
like,
it. I responded to it on my
just
TikToks.
badgering, and I was like, this is why women need to be in leadership, man, because, men cannot keep their emotions in check.
No, I think that's a really true
serious
point. There's no
platforms.
emotional intelligence. There's no like training of how to keep your shit going. They
No,
just always
exactly.
get fed entitlement. Everyone like says yes, so nobody ever goes no. Wait, listen. When Trump played Julius singing "De Bulibunu," in front of the whole to kill the boer, that was kind of weird, I must say. That was like okay, how are we going to explain this?
I know. It
was like, okay, all
How
right.
did you get that? Because it's hard to argue that one away.
It was weird. It was like, when your racist uncle says, Taba, you wanted the good ones. You got to get him.
But we know all the lyrics to "Killing Me Softly."
Yes, exactly. Killing Me Softly. Afriforum's favorite music.
It's hard to go on the global thing and be like, guys, no, we all understand the song doesn't mean that. And I guess if you're a snowflake from America, you're like, but that does
sounds
sound
scary.
an awful lot like an incitement to violence.
Yeah.
I wanted to say something about this whole cuck, because now this whole Starlink
Yes.
thing has ignited.
No, it's completely going for the idea of transformation from a dude who literally had John Forster's family coming over
Right.
to his house. So how the hell he benefited from apartheid on a level, he got the full cream Woolworths ice a benefit from apartheid.
Premium tier.
Premium tier.
Yeah. So-
Gold membership from Discovery.
He starts bitching about Starlink, and suddenly the whole white right in this country thinks that Cyril's going to get back and just decide it's over. No more employment
Yes.
equity, no more
Yes.
affirmative action. But, for a start, we don't work like America where the president can sign his precious executive orders and everything gets
Yeah.
changed. We actually have a parliament, we have systems, we have rule of law,
Yeah.
Donald. But it has caused this moment of everyone questioning, do we still need BEE, do we need, etc. And I don't know about you, Chester, but sometimes I do corporate talks and I walk into those spaces and my God, you would
They're
think
all
it
white.
was 1996.
They are all
They're
white, and all the
they're
black
men.
people on one table at the back, and
Correct.
it happens every single time.
Right. It's
insane.
They
It's
are
irregular as hell.
white men. That is who is staffing the entire of corporate South Africa, as far as I can see. And I was thinking today, 4% of this country are white men, right? Because there's
Yeah.
about 7-8% total white people.
Yeah.
Do you know that the total ginger population of Britain is
Yeah.
4%?
Oh, wow.
Right? So let's imagine you walked into a British bank
Oh my
or
God,
a
this is
British
funny.
corporate, and every single person you saw had red hair, right?
That's funny.
So initially you'd be like, this is weird. And then as you move to the next room and all the managers were gingers, you'd be like, what the fuck is going on here? Is this some kind of like a cult? And then you switched on the news and, you know, half the politicians had red hair as well. You'd be like, this is a real demographic anomaly.
Yeah.
Right?
It's creepy.
But here we're expected to just accept it as, you know, the natural order of things, that 4% of the population can occupy the top rung in all these different environments.
And if you created a song called Kill the Ginger, 90% of the Western world would agree.
I don't want to get into that. I'm quite woke.
Oh, shame.
Hair colour.
Shame you love the gingers. Shame. They're bastards. All gingers are racists.
Says the guy with no
All
hair.
just a shut up, Simi. Listen, okay. Right, this has been, I mean, that is an amazing point.
Thanks so much, I also thought so.
Well done. Well done. A journalist patting herself on the back, just what South Africa needs. Shame. They don't get paid, so they need what they can get.
It's true.
Listen, you know, you're a white South African. What do you wish white South Africans would do to stand up to this stuff? Well, I mean, because you know, we're leaving it to black South Africans to fix it all, which is a lot of bullshit. Must we only eat black jelly babies? What do we got to do?
I mean, I think it is helpful to have, and there have been some very loud white voices going on the international TV circuit saying, guys, this is not true. And, you know, it is working. I think that kind of an airwaves propaganda war is working because we did see almost every legitimate international news outlet reported the genocide stuff with skepticism, said highly contested,
they went in on it.
controversial claims. No one that I could see who was a respected media outlet said, oh, guys, we need to rethink what we've been saying about South Africa. So, I mean, I do think it's incumbent on white people, since the kind of voices we're talking to in the States only listen to white people, it is incumbent on us to say, this is nonsense. We live incredibly well. We are some of the most privileged people on earth. Yes, we are victims of crime in the same way that the rest of the country is, to a much higher degree, because they can't afford the security measures many of us can. But it's just not the case that we're persecuted.
Speak up. Speak.
Amandla.
Tweet. Go on your face. Go on your family WhatsApp group and cause a stir. Don't you can say, no, shut up, uncle. There's no farm. There's white genocide. Listen, okay, one last thing. We ran out of time, but one last thing. It does look like South Africa's under a kind of information attack.
Yeah.
And I mean, like, it looks like the PayPal mafia, etc. What must we do? You're a journalist. Must we make Jerusalem a trend again? Must Black Coffee remix Julius? What's got to happen?
Look, it is a really unfortunate accident of history that Trump has surrounded himself with these South African guys. There's just so many of them. Peter Thiel has a South African connection. Andrew Sachs, his crypto guy, South African born. Joel Pollack, that absolute little twerp who tried to be ambassador and failed.
Tony Leon smelling left testicle.
Correct. Those guys are surrounding Trump. They seem to have some level of access to his inner chamber, and they all suck so bad. And that's just unfortunate. There's nothing we can do about that. We can't go back in time, although I wish we could. So what can we do? We can present other illustrations of how white South Africans are in the world. We can be more positive illustrations of the whiteness that Trump is surrounding himself with in this particularly toxic manner.
I think you nailed that. I've spent the entire time visualizing what Donald Trump's inner chamber looks like. Donald Trump, stick your hand in my inner chamber. Listen, Rebecca Davis, you're amazing. Keep doing the good work. Where do we follow you?
Hopefully not home, Chester.
Hopefully not home. Thank you. That's it. I'm out. Follow me everywhere. Subscribe, retweet, do all the things. Like this button. Comment how much you hate me or love us below. Have a nice day. Bye.
Jesus,
you can go now. Go, guest. Go. Get out the shot. Go. We can't afford for you to stay. Turn the lights off. We've got